to stay.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond Boards, a podcast dedicated to the actions and interests of skaters beyond skateboarding. My guest today, Grant Yansura, grew up and started skating in West Palm Beach, Florida. He started filming his friends and making videos, including the two Cosmic Vomit ones, which came out in the late 2000s, early 2010s. He moved to Los Angeles in 2010 and started working at the Barracks. He then moved over to Nike SB and worked alongside Jason Hernandez on the Chronicles 2 and 3 videos. In 2014, he founded his own board brand, Weekend Skateboards, the name being a reference to his famous Weekentage edits that he started putting out back in Florida before bringing them to the Barracks. The brand has been steadily growing for the last 10 years, regularly putting out amazing skate videos with hilarious skits which have become an integral part of its identity. So here's my conversation with Grant. I hope you'll enjoy it. So before we do the questions, I just wanted to try to do a very quick recap of your life, if I can try to do so.
Okay.
But yeah, so from what I heard and read, I saw that you were born in Florida and West Palm Beach. So I believe that's not very far from Miami. My geography of Florida is quite bad, but...
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on who's driving.
I couldn't figure out when you were born, but I think we're pretty much around the same age. So you must be in your mid-30s, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was born in 89, so I'm 34.
Okay. And so obviously you started skating over there in Florida and you started filming your friends and doing, local videos. I believe the first one you put out was called Been There, Done That. Then you did the Cosmic Vomit videos, which came out in 2009 and 2012. I read also that you studied film for a little bit. I'm not sure if you did that in Florida or if you were already in LA, but eventually you moved to Los Angeles. But I think it started, if I'm not mistaken, with an internship or a short time contract at the Barracks. You sent a tape to Chase Gaber at the Barracks and started working there. That's around, I believe, 2010. You brought your Weekentage edits that you were doing with your friends back in Florida. You brought that concept to the Barracks and got your foot in the door over there and started connecting with people in the industry. And eventually you transitioned into filming for Nike SB. You worked on Chronicles 2 and 3 with Jason Hernandez. And that brings us to you starting Weekend in 2014. So that's 10 years ago. And I think Raymond Molinar was also associated with the brand at the beginning. You've also founded Hyperion Distribution, which distributes other brands like Frog, Butter Goods, Cash Only, Classic Grip, and Passport from Australia. And of course, everybody knows the videos you put out, which are excellent, both for the skatings and the skits. You just recently put out a pro part for Tanner Brzezinski last week, which was epic, with the skit a couple of days before, which was incredible. So we're going to talk about that for sure. But yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what I wanted to mention. Of course, we could say a million other things and we'll say other things throughout our conversation.
Wow. Yeah, you're pretty much correct on all that. Yeah, the only thing was that Frog is out of Keen distribution, but other than that, you got my life right.
Okay, wow. Okay, why did I...
Yeah, well, we used to distribute them, but Pontus...
Okay. They changed. They changed.
Yeah, they Keen got a grip on them, so they've moved over there.
Okay, I didn't know.
A few years ago.
So yeah, let's just jump right into it. My first question is from Blake Carpenter. So, he asked, everything Grant touches turns to gold. He's a selfless person and an amazing filmmaker. Who made the biggest impact on you as a kid in Florida?
Why do I feel like ChatGPT just came up with that question? Or maybe Blake just writes so eloquently. Thanks, Blake. Who were my influences in Florida? Just the local scene was insane when I was younger. There was so many different crews coming out with videos. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say all the time because it was a slower pace back then, but there were crews even had their own websites that they would, this was before YouTube, so they would just be updating their websites with montages. And Brad Cromer and his crew had a crew called Skate FL. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if that's the name of their crew, but their videos were called Skate FL.
Okay.
So those were a big influence. Static videos weren't necessarily fully out of Florida, you know, but
Yeah.
it was an East Coast video that is, you know, just came out with another one 6 months ago. So that was a huge influence on me. Joe Perrin's stuff when I was younger was a huge influence. Like,
oh, yeah.
Last of the Mohicans, I'm still trying to copy the format of that video to this day. So, yeah, those were just the local videos. And then, yeah, Joe Perrin and Josh Stewart were my main influences.
Did you get to meet with them back in the day, or did you eventually cross paths with them later, maybe when you were in California?
Yeah, I got to meet them when I was a bit younger. I think I was in college probably when I met Josh Stewart. I'm not sure about Joe Perrin, but yeah, I met Josh Stewart. He bought my second video, Cosmic Vomit. He bought maybe 10 copies for his web store back in the day, and that was a huge thing for me. It was a really big deal. Theories of Atlantis website was a pretty big deal. It had like it had a bit of like a message board on it too.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Before people knew where else to go on the internet, there were, you know, small message boards here and there.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I just met him somewhere in Orlando, I believe, where I went to school for a couple of years.
Okay. And yeah, Blake also asked, when are we skating again?
Hit me up, Blake. I'm here. He lives in, I think he moved back to Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm here, Blake. You know where I'm at. Hit me up. Blake and I moved to Los Angeles together. He drove with me actually on the first time that we moved across country to Los Angeles, and he was eating ramen noodles for years, just barely scraping by as like a young skate rat, and it's really rad to see him where he's at now.
Yeah.
Living comfortably, hopefully.
Actually, my next question is kind of linked to him. The next guy is Bryce Mandel, who was part of the second Cosmic Vomit video, I believe.
Wow.
So Bryce asked, do you remember when Blake Carpenter threw piss all over you in Raymond Molinar's RV?
Definitely, I remember that. We did an RV trip probably 11 or 12 years ago.
Okay.
We went like through Arizona, New Mexico, and then to Denver and back. And Blake was the young buck on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't, you know, the sharpest tool in the shed at the time. So he pissed into a cup on the RV, and then like there's a table and we're all playing cards in the back. Mm-hmm. And he opened the window and threw the cup of piss out, but the screen was closed on the window. And he didn't see that there was a screen, so when he threw the cup at the screen and it just bounced off and landed all over like the card table, all over all of us. Oh and then God. He tried to pick up the remaining piss, and he opened up the screen, and, you know, we're all freaking the fuck out. He opens up the screen and goes to throw the rest of it out, but the wind just blew it back in. So twice he just drenched all of us in his piss.
That's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully. I think he's gotten a little better at traveling since then.
All right. Another person who was in the first Cosmic Vomit video, Justin Fuller. So he asked, we're all pretty sure Grant's parents' house is haunted. Sleepovers as a kid were pretty scary. That's it. It's not a question. It's more like a statement. If you'd like to comment.
That's funny. I don't even know that. I mean, my parents' house was built in like 1921, so
okay.
I'm sure there's some sort of spirits holding it down, but none that I've ever seen before. There's like spooky statues everywhere, and my parents are they're collectors of antiques, and also they've kept a lot of stuff from the original house, like just spooky, weird, like old saint statues or something, you know. In the yard there'll be like Saint whoever and his hands are out and he looks all creepy, and so yeah, I get that.
Okay, next one is from Tom Carter. So let's see, he asked a couple of things. He said, ask Grant if he can switch my keyboard settings back from Final Cut Pro 7 settings that he always switches it to.
Yeah, that's my buddy that helps me with any of the skits that we do. he always helps me finish them. He's a really good editor, and I always get it to a certain point, and then I bring it to him because he's super funny, and we just bounce off each other like ways to kind of finish it or what could be funnier here or there. And yeah, he's just an insanely good editor that I always go in and switch his keyboard settings and fuck them all up, and it pisses him off. Because I'm still on the old Final Cut keyboard settings, and he's all on some new shit because he's tech, and I'm just a idiot filmer. But yeah, I can switch that back for you, Tom. It's pretty easy, actually. I'll show you.
He also asked, where did the inspiration for screaming hospital in Weekentage come from?
That's a good question. Actually, I don't know about why I screamed hospital, but there was this video that came with, I think it came with Trans World magazine. It was a San Diego video.
Okay.
I forget the name of it. I think that's the name of the shop. It was like a shop video. And there was someone in the video, in the credits, every time they slammed, they would just start running for some reason. I forget who it was. I remember like Julian Davidson was in that video and Wes Kramer. But I don't think either one of them were the one that would run. But there's some kid in the video, he had like multiple wrist guards on all the time, and he's always eating shit. And every time he would eat shit, he would just take off running. I always thought that was really funny. And yeah, I don't know. It's just the idea of like running yourself to the hospital was always pretty entertaining to me. It's also kind of like when you're a little kid and you would get hurt. Like, I don't know how it works over in France, but people would be like, do you want me to get your mom? And you'd be like, no. And then they'd be like, I'm getting your mom. And then they would like run off and you'd be like, no. So maybe a little inspo from that too. Just something about running when you're hurt is good to me.
And his last question is, what is your favorite Adam Sandler movie and moment from that movie?
Oh, shit. I don't know. My favorite Adam Sandler movie, probably, I don't know, Happy Gilmore is just so funny. I'd probably go with that. Favorite moment is hard. I like this one I like little moments in movies that are kind of hard to catch. There's like this one where there's old ladies talking and she's just like rambling on. It's pretty low key in the scene. And then she's like, is anyone even listening to me? And like, yeah, I don't know. It's not even that funny. I just always think of that little scene. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Happy Gilmore.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think. I don't know his all of his like filmography very well. Like I remember him in it's not a funny movie, but it's kind of funny. But it's a Punch Drunk Love.
That movie's so good.
Yeah, but it's like a more serious, like more dramatic kind of role for him.
Yeah, that movie is really good. It was shot like in, I mean, I guess most movies are shot in Los Angeles, but it was shot in like the valley and kind of in the area where our warehouse is. So I'm always thinking of that film because it's really cool. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, where we're at it's an interesting juxtaposition of like industrial area, but then you can see mountains, and that movie has a lot of that I really think is neat, like mountains, but then just like funny, like boring industrial streets.
Actually, on that kind of same topic, Matt Price asked the next question. He asked, like, share us some stories about the old weekend warehouse landlord, and if you kind of miss him now.
Yeah, that guy was insane. I don't really miss him, but we have like the opposite of that. Like he was way over the top. He would like watch the cameras, and you know, if you parked your car like 2 feet to the right, he would like, you know, call you freaking out. And now our landlord is like, and our new warehouse is just non-existent, and you know the dumpsters overflowing all the time and they don't get it picked up, so it's annoying on the other side of the spectrum. But our last landlord was insane. His name was John.
When did you change warehouses? Was that somewhat recently, or?
It was like 4 years ago.
So like during COVID then?
Yeah, yeah, it was like middle of 2020 I think is when we switched. I just feel like I'm gonna miss it because there's so many funny ones, but I'm like having trouble narrowing it down. But he would like watch the cameras, and like one time we had Jeff Campbell staying at our warehouse, and he had to jump the fence at night to get into the warehouse, and it was like this whole like fiasco where he thought people were like breaking in, and I had to try to explain it. And it's kind of hard to tell a story. You more have to see it, because he would email me like almost every day screenshots of the security cameras, because he would watch us come and go. And he's like this older, he's probably like in his 70s, retired man, so he had nothing better to do than watch the security cameras. So like if someone would come in and like park, 2 feet outside of where they're supposed to park, or if they would like forget to bring the trash can in after trash day, he would send an email with a screenshot, and it would be like he would like zoom in on the person, and then he would like circle them with like a red square, and then do like in like Microsoft Paint or something, like an arrow to like the gate, pointing out the gate was open, and he would like add little notes in, like that would say like how the gate was left open at this time, and it appears to be this person. It's like there's only 3 of us working here. Like, what? I mean,
like detective work.
Like he was acting like he was some sort of like detective cracking the case. And like, I was talking about Jeff Campbell staying there, and like Jeff climbing the fence in the middle of the night, and he thought he was like an intruder. It was like his biggest case ever. Like he was like finally, but
it was just Jeff Campbell, like no criminal.
Yeah, just like Jeff's drunk ass. But it's harder to explain. You have to really see his diagrams, which I think I used to post on my story. So if you see the visuals, they're pretty astounding.
All right, I'll have you listen to the next one.
Hey Grant, it's Riley. Just wondering who your favorite team rider is and why, and least favorite and why. Explain why.
Did you hear that okay?
I did hear that okay. Well, the nicest one is probably Sarah Meurle.
Oh, yeah.
She's a saint. Tom K's probably like he's like my best child. He's like the, does all his homework before you go film the spot. He's like already tried it. He already knows he can do it. He's probably already landed it just to make sure he doesn't waste your time.
Yeah.
And you ask Tom for anything, he'll, drop everything he's doing and help you out. He'll drive up from Long Beach to help you like hold up a pallet or something. My worst is probably Riley. Nah, I don't know. Come on, there's no worst, Riley. I will say who takes the longest probably is maybe Nikolai. Will take a long time sometimes, but he's also trying like the hardest trick in the world. So
yeah,
there's that. But nah, there's no worst. They're all the best, or else they'd be kicked off.
Okay, the next one is from Aaron Meza. So,
nice.
He asked, Grant, is there a point in the near future where someone's acting chops have more sway than their lead skills on landing a spot on the weekend team? Thought that was a good question.
No, I don't think so. I think even if you can't act, we'll figure it out. Half the time, they don't even know that we're recording when we're filming a skit, and that's the reactions that we use. So you don't even really have to know how to act. Like Toby...
Oh yeah, Toby Bennett.
Toby Bennett's intro in JIT video, he told me that he can't act at all, and I didn't believe him because anyone can kind of act, but it turns out he actually cannot act. So he wasn't lying. Like when we turned the camera on, because he's the most talkative fucking kid ever. He won't shut up. But then the second I asked him to like say some stuff on film, he just all of a sudden forgot how to talk. He just couldn't say anything. So we had to, the scene was supposed to be just him like yapping nonstop. He just talks without even taking time to breathe. So I wanted to show that because it's really funny. So he's supposed to be talking nonstop while cutting someone's hair in the warehouse. But he couldn't figure out how to talk all of a sudden. And I was like, just talk about your like friends back home. Like, just tell me a story. And he just frozen, couldn't do anything. Yeah. And then what we did is just hit record on the camera. It's on a tripod. And then I'm like, all right, we got to go figure something out. Like, just stay here with Freddie and like, I don't know, practice cutting his fake hair, and we'll be right back and we'll figure something out. So we left the room, and then when we left the room, he's just like sitting there, like doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing, cutting Freddie's hair and just talking a mile a minute. And he had no idea that we were recording and all that. It was legit. I mean, and then we like went and filmed like insert shots of like his hands cutting and stuff to have something to edit with, so it wasn't just like one shot. But yeah,
sure.
So even if you don't know how to act, it doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out.
It's true. Like some of the guys on the team are like really good actors. Like of course Jordan. I feel like Tom K also is pretty good.
It's so funny that people think Tom K is a good actor because he's actually terrible. But no, I'm just kidding. He's not terrible, but he's like, he would say that he can't act, but his not being able to act is a good character in itself.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. Like he has this like stern look, and like if you cast him right and like put him in the right role,
character, or
his like sternness can like come off in a very like good, funny way. He's like, it's kind of unintentional though, but yeah, he is good in his own way. But I don't think he has much range. I feel like you would agree with that, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
He's getting better though. Everyone gets better and better each time.
Yeah.
I think if you pay attention, Alex Schimdt is turning into quite the actor.
That's true, yeah. I think the one that shines kind of the most, at least to me, is definitely Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see.
All right, my question for Grant is this. Do you remember the time that you got down on all fours over a pile of dog poop and sniffed it as hard as you could to prove that you didn't have a sense of smell?
No, I don't remember that. And who is that?
That was Colin Read.
Oh, wild. I don't remember that, but that is something I would do for sure.
He said, for some context, Alex Fogues was there. Does that ring a bell or not at all?
No, but that definitely sounds like something I would do. At least when I was in my 20s, for sure. I can't smell. I've never been able to smell. So, yeah, if you don't believe me and there's some dog shit there, I'd probably get on all fours and take a whiff. But probably the fumes aren't good for me. But, yeah, that's a move. It's a move I've probably done. Sounds right.
Okay. Actually, the next question is linked to this one.
What up, Grant? All right. If you could smell for a whole day, where would you go and what would you smell? And why?
Wow. Was that guy Azulay?
Yes.
Wow. What would I smell? It's kind of hard because I can't smell, so I don't know.
You have like no sense of smell at all? Like that sounds
I could
pretty
smell a
nuts.
couple things, like very rarely. I could smell like, it's so random too. I feel like it's campfires, kind of cigarette smoke if it's like really close.
Okay.
Kind of like fresh popcorn if I'm fucking snorting it. It's a very short list. It's like probably 10 things on the list, and they're all like, I don't know, have to be very strong, and I have to try really, really hard. But yeah, I've never been able to smell my whole life.
Did you ever find out why you weren't able to smell? Like that sounds...
No, my cousin, he can't smell. My grandpa couldn't smell.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. There was when I was like 10 or 11, there was some doctor that said there was some surgery I could get that could probably...
Improve it?
Yeah, I could probably improve it a lot. But I'd have to miss a whole summer, and I just couldn't be bothered with missing a whole summer. You wait all year for that when you're 10 or 11, and I had a, important baseball season. I could have thrown my whole career off, Couldn't do it, said no, wise decision, I guess, and now I just still can't smell. But if I could smell for one day, where would I go? I don't know, like... I was gonna say like a fair or something because I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to smell like all the fair food or whatever. But there's probably really bad smells at a fair, like a bunch of sweaty, hot people and like porta potties. But I was imagining more like the cotton candy and like the popcorn and all that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to really sit with that one for a while and come up with a good answer for Guy.
Okay. And I don't want to dwell on this, but I'm just curious. What about like taste? Like, can you taste like food or like beverages like fine, or is it does it affect also you taste or?
Oh yeah, that's always a follow-up question. I can taste. I don't know like at what capacity compared to, you or Guy, but
Sure.
It's hard to compare, but I can definitely taste. I would say probably I couldn't be like a food critic. I can't like pick out like notes in like wine or whatever the fuck, but I feel like people are lying half the time they're saying that stuff anyways.
That's true.
But yeah, I can definitely taste. I don't know how much it's affected.
Okay. Yeah, you were mentioning wine. I used to actually be a sommelier.
No way.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
It's not actually very true because I was more like a wine waiter, kind of. Like a sommelier is like a properly trained person, and I was like the degree under that or something.
Got it.
But yeah, and I was also an alcoholic, so I had to quit drinking. But yeah, so I just found it interesting. Like when I heard those questions from Guy and Colin, I was wondering if it affected your taste as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you being an alcoholic.
No,
no,
not at all.
I was just laughing at I don't know, like the irony of it.
I can smell fine, I guess, but like I used to like always look at people smelling wine and saying, "Oh, I smell, I don't know, cherries or whatever," and I'd be like, "Okay, sure, like," but I could like, "Oh, it smells like red wine," like, and I knew a lot of shit about wine, but like to actually be able to tell like the specific smells inside of wine was very, very hard for me. So I think some people like me were kind of bullshitting, and so some can properly figure it out, but I was not part of it.
They're all lying.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, next one is from Shintaro Hongo from Japan.
Lovely.
He said, "I want to ask you, how did you find me? My first contact with you was through DMs, but I was wondering how you first heard about me."
That's sick. I saw a part of Shintaro on VHS Mag, this website.
Oh, yeah.
Japanese website.
Right.
And the part was so sick. And I just hit him up. He's like one of the very few... I think he must be the only person on the team. Kind of Sarah as well, where I saw them and like reached out to them to like put them on. Usually the way our whole team works, which we have a very large team at this point, it's all it's all through friends. Like, we just like meet the person like through someone else on the team. And that's kind of, we're not a very like sponsor me tape team, even though I love getting them and I'll try to respond to all of them. But yeah, we don't really work too well like that. But Shintaro, I hit him up after seeing his part because it was just so sick. And he was getting Mafia. He was on the Mafia. I don't think officially, but
okay.
His brother is. I don't know if you know that Shintaro has a brother that's on Skate Mafia.
That's right. Yeah. I don't remember his name, but yeah.
I think it's Misaki.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
So I hit up Shintaro, and then I was talking to him for a bit, and I was like, damn, his English is really good, actually. But turns out I was just talking to Brandon Turner. Like, no way. Brandon was like sending him. I don't know if it was like, because I think it's pretty widely known, but maybe not. But like Shintaro and his brother, like Brandon Turner is like basically like their uncle. Like Brandon Turner grew up in Japan.
Yes, I remember him talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, for some pretty formative years, and started skating with Shintaro's dad. So
no way. Wow.
Yeah. So Shintaro's dad and Brandon Turner are like lifelong friends. Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah, he was like, we were going back and forth, like figuring it out, and then I found out it was Lil B was interpreting for him.
But didn't Brandon want to get him on Skate Mafia?
No, I think that he was really hyped for him. His brother was on, and I think that it was like kind of cool for them to like have their own lanes, like each one do their own thing instead of both being
on the same team.
Yeah, and I'm so glad it worked out. And yeah, Brandon's is so sick. He comes and skates with us when Shintaro's in town, and yeah.
I've seen clips of him in some of your videos. I can't remember which ones, but
yeah, he has a trick in Shintaro's part in one of our videos. Yeah, he's such a legend. It's so sick to have him around.
For sure.
That's how I found Shin.
All right, let's move to the next one.
What's the difference between making the skits nowadays in comparison to when Weekend first started? And also, have you ever considered making a sister board brand?
Did you recognize who that was? Yes, Alex
Schimdt.
Schmidt, yes.
He's like, can you make a sister board brand to get all these fucking young kids off? Yeah, the difference between now and then was now I'm not shooting them, really, which is honestly great for me because it's hard to, like, direct them and shoot them.
I'm sure.
And, yeah, it's just it's more of a team now when we shoot the skits, which is why they look way better than if you look at old ones, which there's still charm to, like, a shitty-looking skit that I still like.
Sure.
But I feel like at some point you gotta progress in your look.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't lose touch with, like, you know, the message or, like, the jokes, the humor.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So now we have a team of people that's still really small, and everyone's a skater and my friend, but I think just utilizing other people more instead of doing every single thing. And it's, yeah, that's why it looks so great. So not shooting them has been awesome. I have my buddy Kevin Horn, who makes some skate videos himself.
So he's been shooting the latest skits?
Well, there's a couple of my friends that can all shoot really well. So my buddy Jake Frank shoots as well, and then also my buddy Mark Spencer. So whoever's
available
to, at the time, because they're all very busy as well. They all have their own careers that they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, anyone free next Wednesday around 11 o'clock, and I'll just see who I can get.
What about editing? I think you edit a lot of them yourself, and then you have your friend Tom. We mentioned him earlier. Like, is that how it usually works out, or do you have someone else kind of come in and help you with the editing? Or
yeah, that's kind of how it always works. Is I edit as far as I can get, and I just get stuck in my room, and I don't know what's funny anymore, or what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
So then I kind of, once I get it to a point where this is the best that I got, then I'll bring it to my buddy Tom or even Mark, or I'll show other people and get other opinions. I really go off of other people's opinions a lot. Like, I don't know, maybe some people sort of know exactly what they want and they don't need to see what other people's thoughts are, but that's not really how I work. I need feedback. I really want to, like, because you get so stuck in what you think is funny or what you think is entertaining, and sometimes it's just funny to you, and that's it. So I still edit everything, but I definitely have help. And Tom he's been helping me for like 10 years now. So anything that we've put out that's skit related, for the most part, sometimes I'll be able to pull it off on my own, but that's more like on a smaller scale. But yeah, it's not only me, so I can't take all the credit.
And what about the sister board brand? Like you said, like, you have a stacked team. Like, even in this latest video that I watched, I was looking at all the names. I was like, oh, damn, there's like, I don't know, 20, 25 writers now or something. I mean, a bunch of them are like on flow or something. But yeah, 21, yeah. That's a lot of people.
I think that's what it's at last time I checked. Yeah, it's a lot of people. I don't know, it's just so many dope skaters that I just love and want to, like, just make stuff with. So it's hard to, if I could, there'd be like 50 people on the team. There's so many skaters that are not hooked up properly that I love their skating and would be fun to make stuff with, but at a certain point you gotta cut it off. And so we're somewhere in the 20s, and that's actually been like a thought that we've sort of toyed with for a while, but it's just hasn't really presented itself. And I think, I don't know, it's just we're all so busy as it is, and then start a sister company, just that much more work. And I think if something were to happen where it made sense, that would be cool. But at the same time, it's like, what, am I just going to duplicate the same look twice? That doesn't really make sense. I don't see. It would have to be something where there's some other look going on.
Another concept, like, and identity.
Another concept, another identity that sort of just like naturally develops and makes sense. But I kind of unfortunately only know how to do the look that I do, and I don't know how to do another one. So yeah, so it's not out of the question if it were to like naturally present itself, but I don't think the world is starving for another board company at the moment.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's see. The next one. So this one's not really a question, but maybe something you can kind of comment on. It's this is from Jason Hernandez. So he said, the only thing I can think of is his love for rollerblading. That was the first time I ever really had an interaction with Grant. He got me to wear rollerblades for a skit of his. For some reason, he thought I knew how to blade, but I didn't know how. He wanted me to do a trick or look more comfortable, and I couldn't. I think I let him down. Anyways, full circle, he somehow, modern day, made it cool to be down with rollerbladers.
That's so sick that Jason wore rollerblades for me, like probably 11 years ago. I barely even knew him. And it's kind of funny now that I know him, that I got him to do that because, yeah, let's just say that's him coming out of his comfort zone a bit, throwing on some rollerblades. And it was some skit we did for an old Weekend Taj where I was like a rollerblade filmer, but I was like in denial. I was just pretending that they were like shoes with wheels on them. And I kind of forget the skit, but I think I'm like basically talking about how like all the filmers are doing it, and it shows I got Jason Hernandez to wear some rollerblades that I put like Nike checks on the rollerblades. And I think I just assumed that everyone had a little rollerblading stint at one point. I mean, before I skated, it's not like I had never like grinded anything, or I never actually like rollerbladed like a skate park or anything, but I would rollerblade around the block when I was like, 7 or 8. So I just figured everyone rollerbladed around the block when they were 7 or 8. It turns out Jason Hernandez did not rollerblade.
He hadn't, yeah.
No, so he was like Bambi on ice, but
that must have been fun to watch, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
All right, let's do the next one. Again, this is kind of linked to what we just talked about. Let's see.
All right, Grant, here we go. 2-part question from myself, Greg, and Parker. Question 1, have you ever cried to a movie? Question 2, if you were going to make a fall section, what song would you use?
Whoa, sick.
Did you recognize who that was?
Yeah, I think that was John Julio from them skates.
Exactly, yeah.
Sick.
So that's the brand you collaborated with on the famous skit.
Oh, yeah, those guys are awesome. I swear rollerbladers are cooler than skaters. They're sick. Actually, I don't know. We're all the fucking same. Those guys rule. I think I've cried in... we were just talking about this yesterday, this movie, because Toby on our team has like a bunch of ailments and he's just always sick and like whatever. And I was saying he reminds me like he'd be the dude to get stung by all the bees in like that one movie where the kid gets stung by the bees and dies. And I watched it when I was like probably 6 years old and cried, and I've never watched it since.
Okay.
Do you know what? Is it My Girl? Maybe. Do you know?
I'm not sure. About? No, I don't think I've heard of this movie. No.
Yeah, I cried in that one. I gotta look it up. I think it's My Girl.
My Girl, okay.
Yeah, that movie's sad. Don't watch it. I cried. I remember crying in My Dog Skip. I cried in My Dog Skip, if you've ever seen that one. I've cried in Simon Birch. I remember crying in, if you know that one.
Okay. And
then I cried on like a airplane movie recently. I forget which one. But I'd be crying. I'll cry every once in a while. Why not? And then fall section. Yep. Damn, good question. Fall sections need to come back. Those haven't been in skate videos in a long time.
Yep.
I would probably just like steal the song from like a Zero fall section just to like...
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe, what was such a good section that I would love to bring back, and maybe just... It's kind of fun just to steal songs from old videos because it's been long enough, and then it's just like it's a fun like callback to them.
Sure, yeah.
And also the music is so good from old skate videos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that section in an old Trans World video where they're just getting really close to tricks? Like they're just like sticking tricks. It's not even like a fall section really. It's in Modus.
Oh, okay.
Modus operandi. It's like Carl Watson, like front nose pretzel on Hubba Hideout, but like just him sticking it in slow-mo and like him getting... It's just like everyone getting like robbed from close tricks and some people slamming, but it's like all slow-mo and it's kind of like... It's like a beautiful fall section.
Okay.
I'd copy that. That's probably...
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't seen Modus in years, but yeah.
Pretty sick excuse to be able to use tricks that no one landed.
Yeah.
Just like, we'll put in the Omo section.
Actually, before we got on, I was reading, there was a thing on 4ply, about, I don't remember the name of the video. Rumble Pack. It was on Tom K's part. And in there it talked about the use of the Pink Floyd songs. And I read, if I'm not mistaken, that you were able to use the Pink Floyd songs because the YouTube that you put the weekend videos on are your YouTube, Yen Dog, and not like a brand, like a Weekend Skateboards YouTube or something. And since you don't monetize the videos, you don't have to pay for the music rights or whatever. Is that correct? Like, is that how you were able to use those songs?
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you get a song on Thrasher on their YouTube, you have to pay for like the music, right. Which Thrasher will, if they are getting behind the project, depending on the cost, they will sometimes purchase a song. But it's such a long, draining process.
6 months,
and at least 6 months, and you never know where you're at with it. You're just waiting the whole time.
Yeah.
And even the songs that are possible to get fall in this small window, and you're just so like it just makes the whole process like not very fluid, not very fun. It's like if you do know you can get rights to this song, then you need to get started on it, like getting the rights for it like way in advance. So then what happens if like that process is going and then you start editing to it and then you don't actually like it, but they've already locked down the song, then you're stuck with it. That's one aspect that sucks about going that route. And another aspect is just you edit the whole video and you think that you're going to get this music, and then maybe you even premiere the video and all that, and then it turns out you can't get the song, and then you have to re-edit the whole
last
thing.
Minute,
so I just got over doing that, even if it means that you get more views. I would rather make a video that is more enjoyable to make, and it's what you want. It's like the best version that you wanted. I would rather do that and I think people who, you're still going to hit your crowd that you're going to hit. You might not get like, all the random Thrasher subscribers, which is cool, but it's like people who want to see your videos they're gonna watch it
for sure,
no matter what YouTube it's on.
Definitely.
So Pink Floyd it is. Yeah, that would never happen. I mean, I don't know, I'm sorry if we ripped off Pink Floyd, but I feel like they're probably sitting pretty. So
I don't think they would care too much, but it works so well with Tom's skating and stuff and the skit before. So it was a great use.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was explained anywhere, but I mean, it was like kind of explained in the skit, but I don't know if people caught it. But yeah, Tom wanted to skate to Pink Floyd. He approached me with this whole concept where his whole part was based off of Heath Kirchart, a line in Sight Unseen. I think it's like in his Sight Unseen commentary, like on the DVD bonus, where he talks about how he was supposed to skate to Pink Floyd, but no one can get Pink Floyd. Spielberg can't even get Pink Floyd. Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
And Tom loved that line and wanted to skate to Pink Floyd, and he came up with this whole dream sequence that was like based off of like Pink Floyd music videos, and then like Heath would be saying that line in it. Yeah. And so like we planned this whole thing, like Tom planned this entire thing that's just like based around this one line that he said. And it's kind of hard to explain Tom, but he's like the most thought out dude ever. He'll come up with such in-depth plans, and like everything means something, like anything that Tom puts out, just know that there's so much meaning behind it, whether it'll ever be known or not. But it's really rad. But he came up with this whole concept for the part, and then we kind of already kind of got started on it, and then I was like, oh wait, I gotta ask Heath if he's even down for this. And then I asked him, and he's like, I said that? He's like, I that's so, why would I say that? I hate that line. I don't want to say that. And like, he had no idea that he ever said it. He thought it was, he just didn't want to say it. He thought it was stupid. So like, I had to break the news to Tom, like, Heath is down to be in it, but he doesn't really like that line. Okay. So then I was able to convince Heath to just be, he was like, can I just be a janitor again? I don't really want to like say lines, because he was a janitor in one of our other skits.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the rollerblade one, right? I think.
Yeah. So he's like, can I just be a janitor again? So that's why if you watch Tom's part, he's just a janitor in the background, and Bob delivers the line, our friend Bob.
Oh yeah.
So...
But he's not saying the words himself, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which is fair. I get it. I think another thing with skits is like if with skaters, if you can get away with not doing lines, often it's better just like keeping the dialogue less, which I guess we've kind of gotten away from recently. We've been talking a bunch, but for certain people, if they don't want to act, they can just stand there and still be funny.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I really enjoyed that read. I'll put a link up on when your episode comes out to that 4-ply thing, because it was super interesting. Like all the nuggets in that section of the Rumble Pack video. Like I had caught some of the things they were talking about. I had seen them kind of, but some of them I didn't figure out, and I was like, oh wow, that's a reference to like American Psycho and stuff. Is it American Psycho?
Probably. There was like a million references in Tom's thing. It was really cool that 4-ply went through and... Yeah.
Really nerded out. Yeah.
They found like most of them. They asked me and I kind of pointed out some they missed, but they even found ones that they found meaning that was non-existent, but they made it make sense.
Involuntary.
So it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one I have is from Jordan Taylor. He asked a couple things. He asked, what exactly happened with Rip and Dip? Why the beef?
Jordan's funny because he doesn't even know. He's like the writer that knows like the history of the brand the least. Like he never watched Weekend Tages or anything. But it's also interesting because I feel like he aligns, like he falls in with the sense of humor so well, and he's like, you know, has become such a big part of the brand. But yeah, he doesn't
study
know at all. He doesn't know our origins. Whereas like Riley Pavey, who's I think 21 or something, is somehow knows like all of our old stuff, like all old Weekend Tages that he had to have been like in elementary school when they were coming out or something. Yeah. But I think his older friend showed him at some point or something. But yeah, Jordan's got no idea. Rip and Dip, yeah, that dude was, yeah, I don't know. It's wild to see. I've never seen someone change so much from money. Like that's pretty crazy thing to watch someone like transform. LA will do that to certain people. It's pretty interesting. Like when you see people move out here and get like I don't know, you'll see people go Hollywood pretty quickly, and that's just what happened. We were like friends from Florida in college, and we had this crew, and he started it was like his company, but we kind of all made videos for it. It's a tight-knit crew. It was really fun. And then we moved out here kind of all at the same time. And then, he just took it in a different direction and then started to get, just realized like the whacker it got, the more money he'd get. And then he just kind of ran in that direction, and we were all not down for it to turn into what he was trying to turn it into. And we lived together, and then I told him, I was in New York, and I was like, you're losing your mind. I'm moving out when I get back. And then when I got back, just all my shit, he like threw all my shit out. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
Like in a classic like girlfriend movie or whatever. When they're like throwing your clothes out the window. But like all my furniture, we like threw it out, and that was that. And pretty much haven't seen him since. I don't know if anyone has.
Okay.
But he's rich as hell, so.
Good for him. Yeah, I guess.
I guess so. He's got like a couple of houses, and like he probably has more houses than friends at this point.
Jordan also asked, why do you have no cake? So I'm not sure what that means, but I assume there's a story behind it. But
it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Like Gordo, his rear end is all flabby and like gross. Like, I don't know, he gets kind of jealous because I have like, my bottom is like really defined and like strong, and I don't know, he just like, his is just like flabby, like gross, like hanging like meat. I don't know.
Let's see. He asked, as a business owner, were there days you wanted to call it quits? How do you keep going and stay inspired?
Fuck. He's getting deep now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. COVID was really gnarly. Yeah, once you start to get like a team of people, then you realize like it's sometimes it gets difficult, and it'd be easier to just like call it, but then you got a lot of people relying on you, so easier said than done. If you just decide to call it, then you're kind of, you got a whole boat of people with you, so I don't know, day by day you'll be all right. Jordan, come on, keep chugging along. But Yeah, it gets overwhelming, but once you start to build a team, and then you got people that you can lean on to help. So that's kind of how you do it, piece by piece.
Let's see. The next one is from Shane Auckland.
Sick.
So he said, ask Grant, who did he dance battle at a Keisha after party we ended up at one night back in like 2012 or so?
I have no idea, actually, to be honest with you. See, Shane has never had a sip of alcohol in his life, so he had a clear view of whoever I dance battled. Unfortunately for me, I have no idea what he's talking about.
No recollection? Okay.
I don't think so. Keisha dance party. I remember that party. I don't remember who I dance battled. Maybe someone famous? Must have been. Had to have been. I need to know.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the next one is an audio one.
Hey, Grant. What up? 2 questions for you. What do you think defines a successful trip these days? Whether it's footage, iPhone stuff, product photos, catalog stuff, what have you. And then second question is, at what point in the trip do you feel you can kind of relax a bit, go in the back of the van, make someone else drive, kind of kick back, crack a beer? Thanks.
That was Jake Todd.
Oh, sick. Definitely no relaxing on trip ever. Successful trip. A successful trip is where everyone got something, because sometimes there's a trip where there's like just one person that just, it's hard to expect everyone to like get footage in this, 10-day window. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. And so a successful trip is where everyone got at least something, because it just sucks to go on a trip and there's that one person that just is getting robbed of whatever they're trying, or maybe they have like whatever, they got a heel bruise the first couple days, and then like everyone's trying to rally around, figure out a spot for them, and then I feel like they can feel the pressure that they're like the one that everyone's sort of like trying to like help. And so when that happens, it sucks. But if everyone gets something on a successful trip, and then I don't think there's any point on a trip where I'm relaxed necessarily, because trips are really, really a lot, because I'm like trying to, so it's like we get somewhere, then I'm like trying to figure out like what spots we're gonna skate. So then we're watching all the videos, we're like asking whoever's showing us around, figuring out spots, then we go out skating, and then right away I'm filming. And if I'm not filming, then I'm trying to iPhone film, which I feel like we're not a very good like Instagram team, which is cool. I'm okay with that. I don't really care that much about Instagram. I would rather us film like actual tricks than worry about iPhone filming. And half the time I would rather have the spots be fresh in our videos than like worry about filming an iPhone trick on the spot. That's also why it's so hard for us, because it's just like, it's more fun to keep the spots fresh than like blow them out on our phones. Yeah. So like, iPhone filming, regular filming, then like right when we're done, trying to figure out the next spot, and then trying to keep up on my emails, which just never happens. I'm like, fall so behind. And then at the end of the day, get back to the Airbnb, and then got to capture all the footage and try to catch up with back home, like with work side of things, and then also figure out the plan for the next day.
Yeah, the next day, exactly, yeah.
Which is no complaints. It's fun, but it's just, there's never a dull moment, never a relaxed moment, but it's always entertaining, and trips are so fun. It's like the best part about owning a skateboard company and doing it with your friends, is just going on trips and traveling.
Okay, I have a short one from Danny Montoya.
Nice.
He asked, Crystal hot sauce or Frank's hot sauce? That's it.
That's so Toya. Toya is such a legend. He is. I would go with Crystal. Better branding, good bottle.
There you go. The next one is from Zac Gracie. Is that how you say his name? Gracie?
Yeah.
So he said, has anyone ever tried to citizen arrest you?
Oh, God. I know what he's talking about. This, yes, me and Zach got citizen arrested recently. We were home for the holidays. We're both from West Palm Beach, Florida. Zach's like the little kid at the skate park that we grew up with. if you like watch the JIT video that we made, in the intro, like his mom brings him, like a younger version of him, up to me and Andrew at the skate park. Mm-hmm. And that is like so accurate of how Zac looked when we met him. Just this like 8-year-old kid with a shirt 3 sizes too big for him. So yeah, we've known Zac forever, and him and I got citizen arrested on New Year's. We were at a bar in our hometown, and it had to, later hours of the night, and just so happened there's a life-size Santa that they had as decorations at the bar. Mm-hmm. And Zac and I took Santa onto the dance floor and maybe got a little wild with Santa Claus on the dance floor, and they like dragged us out, and they started yelling that is a citizen's arrest, that we're under citizen's arrest, and I just like never I didn't really know what that means, and I was just fucking with them, kind of like acting like it was a huge deal, and like that like we're complying, like we understand, and then like so then like they felt really like big and cool that like they had like got us, like they were holding us, they had citizen arrested us, and then like the second that they like, I don't know, let their guard down, I just like ran away, but not far enough to like actually run away. I just kind of like playing like tag with them, because sure. I was we were feeling pretty good, I think, and it's not, we didn't do anything that wrong, so it's not like I didn't feel like the actual danger of getting in trouble, so we were kind of just fucking with them. But yeah, that was funny. They felt really important by yelling that we were under citizen's arrest. Okay. But it didn't really work. And we just went down to the next bar, and like we both had jackets on, so we just took our jackets off and then just walked into the next bar. And then it was kind of like a movie. You could see them like walk by the door. Mm-hmm. Like we were in the bar up the street. We could just see them like fast walk past the door looking for us, and we're just like, oh, okay, yeah. They were still looking for you, okay. Yeah, like we might as well have like fake mustaches on, like. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, I hadn't heard about citizen arrest. I've always heard about it. I've never seen it enacted, and I've never been under myself. But yeah, it doesn't really work, I don't think. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think you can just like yell at someone that they're under arrest and they have to like stay. I think you comply and just obey. Yeah. All right, next one is an audio one.
Hey Grant, it's your fellow video friend Matt Bublitz with a couple questions. My first question, what's a current video trend you notice popping up that you think is a little played out, or just something that you wouldn't mind seeing a little bit less of these days? And on that same note, what's a video trend from back in the day that might be out of style right now that you would like to see come back? And my second question, how much truth is there to the character that you play of yourself in the recent skits, the filmer that's kind of on the outs with his skate crew, like the robot is taking his place and Bumpy's not giving you a necklace? How much truth is there to that? And will Bumpy ever give you a necklace? Do you have a necklace?
Well, we have the answer to the second question in the latest skit, but...
Yeah, I got one somewhere over here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Trend. I don't know. I think it's a pretty easy one to say, but like the emo music is kind of like, I don't know. I'm cool with it, but it just looks like people are just copying other videos. I think that, I don't know, you see a lot of like Daniel Dent inspired videos or whatever, but it's cool. Like I feel like it's usually a younger crowd and they're just inspired, so that's sick. Mm-hmm. So I don't hate it, but it's definitely like an apparent trend. I don't know. I can't really think of a trend that I hate.
What about a trend that from back in the day that you'd like to see come back?
I guess I said earlier, fall section.
Oh, yeah.
Friend sections were pretty sick. That would be cool if those came back. I can't think on the spot of any others, but...
Mm-hmm. And so what about the second question, like the character in the recent skits? Like he was asking basically how much truth is there to that?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm like 34 now, and like I'm at this point where a lot of my friends are like having kids and people are like buying houses and like, you know, they're at an open house on a Saturday and I'm in a van with a bunch of 20-year-olds listening to like terrible trap music. So it's pretty truthful, but yeah, I mean, they don't like disrespect me like they do in the skits. Well, maybe they do as like a joke, but yeah, there's some truth to that. But I still got my couple old heads saving me out there on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm usually like, I'll have one or two OGs there amongst the litter of 20-something-year-olds. So, you know. But it's funny, I'll be like listening to like NPR. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah,
it's just,
like, radio.
It's just like, I don't know, I can't believe I listened to it because it's like what my parents would listen to. And I just thought they were so boring and old. And now I'm like, I'll be listening to like, you know, the news or whatever the fuck on the radio, picking them up. And then like the second they get in, I just like, it just switches like
to trap music.
Yeah, just to the complete opposite. And I let it happen.
You have a foot in each world, kind of, each crowd.
Yeah, but Bumpy, yeah, he's down. I got a necklace.
Okay, the next one's from Taylor Caruso.
Nice.
So he said, what names did you have in mind before landing on Bondo?
That's my dog.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Bondo was pretty straight away somehow. I think that's the best. Names are always hard, like names of skate videos, name of a company, whatever the fuck. I'm always hate it, and it's not, I feel like it's not my strongest, but Bondo just came to me, and it just worked, and good dog name. Mm-hmm. Bondo I actually got from Caruso. He had a pretty bad injury happen to him like 3.5 years ago, and I was filming him. He got hurt. He was in the hospital, and he was fostering a dog that had a litter of puppies. So his wife had to go visit him in the hospital. So I went to watch the puppies because they were like brand new. Mm-hmm. And when I was watching them, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should take one of these. Not like I didn't like steal it.
No, of course.
No. But yeah, so that kind of just happened. I wasn't like planning on getting a dog, but I guess that's the only good thing that came of Taylor's injury was Bondo into my life.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe he knows I was thinking of another name, but I can't really think. His name was Pepper originally, I think.
Okay. No, Bondo is it's fun.
Do you guys have Bondo in Paris?
I'm sure some people use it, but I'm not sure if it's as widely used as in the States. Yeah, I don't think it's as commonly. Yeah, I don't see it that much.
Oh, we love that shit here.
Yeah, fixing up spots and stuff, yeah.
Oh, we'll Bondo anything. We'll Bondo fucking flat ground just for fun. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to find, like, when we go over to Norway and Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
Quite often, because a bunch of our team is there. Yep. And it's kind of hard to find there. Maybe now it's easier, but it's like, I was trying to find it. It was like weird, like blue, like fiberglass Bondo. It wasn't like the same. It was like almost hardened, like kind of like a bowling ball finish on it. Whatever one I bought, I don't know. It was difficult.
Not the same shit. Yeah. Okay.
Little side story.
All right. So next one is from. So I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, and I'm sorry. It's Jeff Cecere. I'm not sure how to say his name. So he asked, "Who is Bone, Trevor or Andrew?"
Ooh, good question. Yeah, Trevor. Even though Andrew likes to think he's Bone. That's Trevor's nickname. Okay. Taylor Caruso, who I was just talking about before this, he's the one in our crew that just kind of like gives everyone nicknames. Like just naturally, he just always starts calling someone something and it sticks. And he would just, I think it comes from Trevor to T-Bone to then just Bone. Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, that's just Andrew claims Bone, but he ain't Bone.
Despite his efforts, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great question, though, Jeff.
Next one is from Alia Huffman, who works with you at Weekend. She asked, "My sister wants to know what your 5-year plan is."
Oh, fuck off. Her sister asked me that at a dinner probably 5 years ago, and I just was like, had no idea. I was like, fuck. Whatever. I don't know. I don't plan out that far in advance, but I guess you're supposed to. I guess you're probably supposed to have like business plans and like 5-year plans when you start stuff, but I never really did that. Kind of started this whole thing by accident, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alia, we rode the bus together in middle school, and yeah, so she's still in the crew. She's been working with us, got to be like 7 years now or something.
Oh, wow.
And her sister was asking the hard-hitting questions, making sure that her younger sister was working in the right place. And but
serious brand, yeah.
Yeah, I just had no good answer, and so it's kind of just a running joke that we're not really...
Well, it's working out for you. I mean, you've been in business for 10 years, and you have 21 people on the team, so it doesn't look like it's... whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. I have a 2-part question from this guy. Let's see.
Hey, Grant. I've often wondered, does it like bum you out to be the second most talented skate video maker out of Florida? Or is that something that really like kind of fuels your fire and keeps you going?
Damn, who is that? TJ Gasco?
No, that's Josh Stewart.
Wow. True. Yeah, it kind of just fuels my fire. Very competitive, so I'm coming for Josh. Yeah, he's been in the game now, 45 years or something, so... Yeah, he's had some practice, but...
Time to leave the throne?
Yeah, I think it's time to just hang it up, Josh.
Okay, let's do his second question, which is more serious.
All right, my real question is, when you're starting to work on a new project and you're brainstorming ideas, how frustrating, or maybe not, is it for you writing something that you know where the end... audience is a skate audience? Because, we know in skateboarding, typically, projects that don't have skate footage within the first 15, 20 seconds are less likely to be watched or continue to be watched, So do you write an idea or skit and then come back to it and kind of cut it down to make it more palatable for skaters? Or do you just say, fuck it, and just wherever the concept goes, just the skate, whoever watches it and let it be what it is? And then will we possibly see more long form pieces from you? It'd be cool to see more narrative stuff, but I know obviously skateboarding is kind of a tough genre to pursue that. So I'm just curious if you have anything else coming down the road that we might be able to see. Thanks, guys.
Fell asleep there, Josh. Just kidding. Let's see. So, skating. I'm trying to just recap his whole question there. Well, kind of an example of that is he was talking about skate. If there's not skating in the first 15 seconds, you're going to lose your crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Tanner skate we did, I worked on tirelessly for over a month, well over a month. So much went into that, and it got, I don't know, 100 so comments, and then we went skating this weekend, and I just threw myself into a soda machine and just posted on Instagram, and it got probably more than double the amount of comments and likes and feedback. Just slamming myself into a soda machine got more.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah. Okay.
Than 2 months of work.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
There you go. That's how the internet works these days.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know. I definitely try to keep things to the point, and I don't know. I think that there's a lot of little inside jokes that I will hit a crowd my age with that will just go way over the head of the younger crowd and references and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think that I'm depending on there being someone in the room that's a little older that might get the reference and explain it.
Yeah.
Or there's all these Instagrams like 4-Ply Mag or
overthinking
skate videos or
right.
computer program. It's all those kind of also help to explain things that maybe go over people's heads. Like in the recent video, there's there's a bootleg 3000 reference, super tiny, but just like this title that comes in the amateur, and it's just like this noise that, and then at the end it says the professional, and there's like the same noise with the title. That's like from Scott Kane's part in bootleg 3000. Like he has like two parts where it starts off as he's am, and then midway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Super small reference.
Okay.
And I showed maybe 10, 15 people that skit before we put it out, and no one caught the reference at all. And even people my age didn't catch it.
Yeah.
And
too subtle.
Like, yeah, but I was like, fuck it. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't, if it's a missed joke, it doesn't like harm anything.
Yeah, sure.
But then sure enough, people got it. Like when we put it out, I saw people like mentioning the reference a bunch. And then so that helps other people see the reference. So I kind of just leave stuff like that in there as long as it doesn't take away from anything. If it's missed, it doesn't really bother the edit, I don't think. But then for that small crowd that gets it, hopefully they like it that much more. But yeah, it is tough to keep people's attention spans these days. But I try not to worry too much about that and try to just make what I think is, hopefully has no dull moments, but people are going to tune out when they tune out. So it's, I don't know, just try your best. But I kind of forget some of parts of his question. So if you remember any that I'm not touching on.
Yeah, he also asked, it would be cool to see more narrative stuff from you. Like,
oh, yeah. I'm working on something with my crew of friends that we make the skits with. We're working on just an episode of something. I just never know what to call it. I guess you could call it like a pilot episode. We're just making something that it's like about a person that is a skateboarder, and it is about skating, but it's like for a broader audience.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we're just gonna make one episode of it and just like put it on YouTube, and we've been shooting it in the past couple months, just here and there because everyone's has a lot going on. So we're just slowly ticking away at it, shooting like a scene here and a scene there. So no idea when we'll be finished with that, but that's something that we're working on. It's not like weekend related or anything like that, minus it just being like the same crew of people
same people, but just not for a weekend. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just something we're doing on the side.
Okay, let's see. Just checking how many I've got left.
Yeah, who do you have questions left from?
Okay, so I have questions from Henrik. One from Sarah Meurle. One from Fredrik Winsents. I have a few from Andrew Considine. One from Bob Altamirano. One from Gabe Kehoe. Not sure I'm saying his name right. And I have some from your girlfriend.
All right, let's do lightning round.
Okay. So Henrik asks, what's the longest you filmed in one day?
Oh, the longest I filmed, I can remember filming Alexis Sablone all day one time, and also Nikolai Piombo all day one time. Those are two people I can remember that the whole day was getting one thing. One was Alexis trying his trick in a park, switch flip front grind on a ledge, and all different people were filtering through, like different crews would show up, hang out, they would go off, have the whole day, and then come back, and we were still there. And she did it, but she didn't like the way she did it, and she was unhappy with it. So then she ended up skating something completely different in the park and filmed a line, and that was pretty wild to see someone try a trick for probably, I don't even know, 7 hours or something.
Oh, wow.
And then like be like, I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna skate this thing over here, and like still have the energy to film a line on a totally different spot. That shows her dedication. And then Nikolai, when he was a bit younger, we took him on his first trip, and he was he took the whole day trying a line at a ledge spot, and I didn't have the heart to cut him off, but nowadays I probably would. So yeah,
okay,
those are two that come to mind.
All right, Sarah Meurle asked, what is the strangest thing you've bought off of Craigslist?
Man, I'm always hunting for the wildest shit for skits, like little things in background. I don't know. A slot machine recently is one that I picked up that was pretty random.
Okay.
Let's just go with like an old slot machine for now. Is what comes to mind.
Then Fredrik Winsents, I'm not sure how to say his name.
Winsents. That's how I say it. I don't know. It's Norwegian. It's definitely. yeah.
So he asked, imagine trading places with an actor, character, director. What movie or TV show would be fun to cast in? And which movie or show character would be a good substitute for your job?
Whoa.
Not sure if I'm clear with the question, but...
Like, what character would be a good substitute for my job?
Yeah. If you were to trade places with an actor or character or director, which movie, TV show would be fun to cast in? And then reverse, like, which movie or show character would be a good substitute for you, for your job?
I don't know. I'm a little confused by the question, but I'll just say, like... sometimes I feel like Michael Scott from The Office because, you know, he thinks like he's in charge, but he's just like an idiot. But, you know, he's just trying his best.
He has good intentions.
He has good intentions. He's just an idiot. So we'll go with Michael Scott. And that would also be a fun character to play. Mm-hmm. So I'll just leave it at that.
Let's see. Then Andrew asked a few things. I'll just read you what he sent, and you can answer whichever question you want. He said, why is Andrew so bad at responding? Mm-hmm. Then how many people has he been in a hot tub with at once? We had like 12 or 13 in a tub once at his parents'. He also asked scariest tricks he's ever done, worst slam, and does he have one more part in him?
Oh, shit. All right. So... yeah, Andrew's the worst texter backer. I'm pretty bad as well. Right now I've tried to get better this year. I have 63 unresponded text messages. It used to be way worse. Andrew and Guy Azulay are the two worst on the team. Terrible texters. Hot tub, Andrew answered his own question, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it's kind of funny. When we go home for the holidays, my parents have a hot tub, and we always cram the whole crew in there, and it's always like brown after we get out. And then the scariest trick I've ever tried, I remember being so scared of such a random trick, but in this 50-50 part I did, it's like a drop-in on a piece of wood on like a hill to like roll on grind this like yellow square rail. It's kind of like a whatever clip, but I remember being so fucking scary and feeling so scary, and then I watched the clip and I'm like, that's it. That's what it looks like, which is, I feel like, always the case. And oftentimes annoying being the filmer because I'm just like handing the camera to whoever's there. It's never like someone who actually... it's rarely am I with someone that's like can film.
Proper filmer.
So, yeah I'm always a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Sorry, crew.
With how it turns out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, probably that this random drop-in grind I did.
And yeah, he asked also worst slam, and do you have one more part in you?
Worst slam? I don't know. I gotta knock on wood, I guess. I slam a lot, but I always take them pretty good. Like, I just like shoulder check the ground pretty hard, so I get away pretty good. But I guess I can't really be superstitious. Why am I knocking on wood? I'm putting myself in like neck braces and like arm casts and every skit we've done lately. So I'm not really superstitious. But can't think. I don't know. When I was younger, there's this double set in Miami. It's a 4-flat-4 called Jungle. It's like this pink, like rounded double set that's pretty famous for a Florida spot. I used to take the train to Miami when I was a little kid, and I would try to ollie it. And I remember on 3 separate occasions trying to ollie it, but I couldn't ollie very far yet. Still can, I guess. So I would turn it a little bit, and it's like painted ground, like kind of slick. Okay. So I would try to stick it, but I'd be like stretching my ollie, and I would slip out and hit my chin. 3 different occasions, hit my chin on the ground.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So that one sticks with me. And do I have one more part? I don't know. It's so hard to film tricks at this point. 21 people on a team. I'm out filming them. There's not much room for me to be trying a trick. Also, my hip is like pretty locked up most times. So my window for me filming a trick is pretty small these days. But hopefully, I have a couple on the hard drive. But I don't know if the whole part is achievable. We'll see.
Okay, let's see.
Hi, Grant. I attended Tanner's Going Pro video last Friday in Echo Park, and I had noticed that you had one of those portable blow-up outdoor movie screens that you premiered the video on with a full PA sound system. My question is, Do you own all that equipment or did you rent it? I mean, I don't know. Either way, it's like super chill, but like, yeah, man. All right. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, Bob. Great question, Bob. I own the screen. Those blow-up screens are actually pretty cheap. I think it's probably like $150.
Okay.
And then just so happens our next door neighbors at our warehouse, the complex right next to us, they do movies in the park. Like that's their whole job, is like you hire them to put on a movie event. So I rented speakers from them at a very homey hookup rate. And then I borrowed a projector from Justin Strubing, who you all may know. But then turns out it wasn't enough lumens or whatever. It wasn't bright enough. So then I ended up renting a projector from the same people I rented the speaker from, realizing that they must have projectors. So rented that from our neighbors, traded them some pants and all that for a nice deal. And yeah, that should answer your question, Bob.
All right, let's see. I just have one from Gabe and then Lacey.
Nice.
What's up, Grant? Obviously, we'd love you to keep making weekend videos as long as possible, but I've always thought if you really wanted to, you'd be a really successful writer or director in Hollywood. With as high as the production value's gotten on weekend shoots, I was just curious if you have any aspirations or have been approached about doing any writing or directing for television or film. Follow-up question. With just about every big-name skater in LA used in the Alan Gelfand High skit, is there anyone you're still trying to convince to be in a sketch? Or if not, who would you cast if you could cast any celebrity?
Shout out Gabe. He's our friend from St. Louis that makes really sick skate videos himself. If you've ever seen this, St. Losers.
St. Losers, exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Somehow he's had a weekend hat, like crispy clean for like 7 years, I feel like. Wears it every day. So it's flattering that when people say that, they think that, but I think it's also probably a lot harder to do than people think. I don't know. It would be cool, but yeah, it seems pretty difficult to get in there. I've been approached by someone to do some skate show, and apparently they're like, I don't know, affiliated with Seth Green, but it just, I don't know. They sent me the script, and I wasn't really feeling it, and nothing against them. It just wasn't really exciting. Wasn't really aligning too well. So I don't know if that's still happening or not, but I just felt like if I was going to do something with skating, that would be to a broader audience, that I would want it to be a more like, I don't know. I would just want to do it with the people that I'm doing things with now. So
yeah, sure.
It just didn't really feel natural.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the second part?
The second part was like basically throughout like the weekend skits, and especially in the somewhat recent one on Alan Gelfand High skit, you had a lot of iconic skaters in there, and he was wondering if there's anyone you're still trying to convince to be in a sketch.
I tried to get Reynolds to be in Tanner's skit, but he flaked.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe for
he
a future
flaked.
one.
Yeah, I think he's a little nervous to act on camera, which I get. It's like when you've had a flawless career, you really want to risk it by me making say some stupid shit. So yeah, the Alan Gelfand, I don't know. I think once I just got a couple down, it was just like snowball effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, this person's down. Like, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anyone, he asked like if there's like a celebrity hopeful or
he said,
something.
who would you cast if you could cast any celebrity?
There's this actress, Amy Sedaris, that is hilarious from this show called Strangers with Candy. She would be sick to... I'll go with her.
Okay, let's finish with... so I have a few questions from Lacey. Mm-hmm. So she asked, have you ever been in a situation filming where you weren't feeling a skater's outfit and you damn near had to ask them to change?
Definitely. I can't think of a...
specific one?
I mean, there's some gimmicks, like Nikolai has the headphones on all the fucking time, and I told him that I would allow 6 clips with the headphones on, and then at 6 clips, he reached his quota, so I was making him take them off. But now, I don't know, it's just too far gone. I think I can't. I think he's just the headphone guy, so I'm just gonna let him rock. Sometimes you just gotta let let them do their thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've probably like taken keys off of people before. Yeah, stuff like that. Pretty bad. Like the, like the keychain.
Yeah. Like attached to the. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like you're on a trip and you still have your like house keys on your belt. Come on, we're in Europe. You don't really need that. Stuff like that. I mean, we're all friends, so it's like friendly fire. But sometimes I'll say something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she also asked, it seems like you're constantly working on new projects. How do you keep it all straight, and how do you make time for yourself and your loved ones that you may or may not live with?
I wonder
who she's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, right. She's psyched when I leave. She can't wait for me to get out of the house. Yeah, I am always working. It's a lot. Another issue is I never really rains here in Los Angeles, so there's like, it's perfect weather every weekend, and
yeah, never days off where you can't go skate.
Yeah, we don't really have weather that like holds us back, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty much go time every weekend. Yeah, I need to make more time. Yeah.
Just put you on blast.
Yeah, great question, honey. No, but she actually is great with not giving a shit with what. Yeah, she never pressures me to not go on trips or go out filming.
She's tolerant of your schedule. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, her last question is, you must have unreleased footy for decades. Can you tell us about a favorite or controversial moment from the bloopers reel that just never made the cut?
I wonder if she has one in mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, you got to be so cautious of anything, so probably a lot is getting cut. Anything controversial from the bloopers reel? I can't think of any. I think a lot would probably just be jokes towards other people. Mm-hmm. Just because, I don't know, it's funny to you, but yeah.
They might take it the wrong way.
People will take things the wrong way, so I think that there'll be like jokes at other people that I probably end up cutting, but like we'll make it in the first round of things, and then I'll just realize like, oh, this would just could create beef that I wasn't trying to. But yeah, I've definitely accidentally stirred the pot every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Can't think of one though. Maybe she has one in mind that she's kind of pointing towards, but she's like HR department for me. I'm like always pitching ideas probably every night, and she tells me what's funny and what's not funny and what's a go and what's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she helps me with any joke that I ever come out with.
I have a very last bonus question from Margie Y from West Palm Beach, who asks if you ever consider moving back home, and if so, when?
That's my mom. You hit up my mom?
No, that was a joke from Lacey. She told me to put this in there.
Oh my god. I actually wanted to move to Miami a couple years ago.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we were talking about it as a friend group. We were even looking at like warehouses and apartments to rent. I thought it would be sick to do it out of Miami because everyone does it out of here, Los Angeles, or New York, pretty much, in the U.S. Mm-hmm. And Miami is just like so much to skate there, and there was like really no one. There wasn't like much of a scene there a couple years ago. Now there is. Mm-hmm. Like now, Brad Cromer moved back, and Brian Della Torre moved back, and there's like Andrew Skate Shop and all those kids. And I guess now Edgelord is out of Miami. But yeah, at the time, a couple years back, there was not much happening skate-wise in Miami, so I thought it'd be sick to do it out of there. Mm-hmm. And, I grew up an hour and a half away. But I felt like I needed a good chunk of my crew to go with me because, the whole brand is like, we all do things together. We're all out filming every couple times a week and doing skits, and if I don't have my friends to do it with, it's not gonna work. We had a chunk of people that were thinking about it, and then kind of I don't know, COVID hit and switched things up, and just never happened. But Margie, why? Who knows? Maybe one day.
Keep your hopes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Grant. This was
cool.
fun.
Yeah, it was. Thanks. Hopefully I answered most of the questions.
That's it for my conversation with Grant. Follow him on Instagram at Grant Yansura. GrantYansyrup, and at Weekend Skateboards, WKND_skateboards. Make sure to go watch and rewatch all of his amazing videos on his YouTube channel Yendog, particularly the latest ones we talked about around Tanner Baczynski turning pro. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon for a new episode of Beyond Boards.